Welcome to River Tales. River Tales is a 30-minute program that will introduce you to fascinating people, take you to interesting places, and enlighten you on important events that happen in our region. River Tales is sponsored by Southeast Missouri Hospital.
This edition of River Tales takes us to the dedication of the new Rush Hudson Limbaugh Sr. United States Courthouse.
Good morning, everyone. What a glorious morning. This is a Chamber of Commerce day here in Cape Girardeau. It's always just this beautiful in America's biggest little city. Thank you all so much for being here. We're very, very proud and very honored to participate today. My name is Brad Scott. I'm the Regional Administrator of the General Services Administration, and we were responsible for carrying out the wishes of the taxpayer, the congressman, or excuse me, the congresswoman, the senator, the judiciary, and all the people in Cape Girardeau to deliver to you what is a fabulous and gorgeous courthouse. Again, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate a truly momentous occasion, the dedication of the courthouse in honor of one of Cape Girardeau's great, great citizens, Rush Hudson Limbaugh Sr.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us today. What a great day this is for Cape Girardeau, the entire 8th Congressional District, the state of Missouri, and the United States of America. And what a great day it is for Judges Stephen Limbaugh Sr. and Jr. and the entire Limbaugh family. And what a great day it is to celebrate our claim to the first resident U.S. District Judge here in Cape Girardeau, our own Stephen Limbaugh Jr. And Steve, we are so proud of you and so proud that you're going to be living here day in and day out. I'd also like to thank all of those people who were involved in building this magnificent building, stone by stone, brick by brick, pulling out the air conditioning, putting it back in, and all that went with it. But it is an amazing structure, and I also want to thank the city of Cape Girardeau and really the entire area for helping make this possible. A special thank you to you, Brad Scott, and to the GSA, and to my good friend, John Maynor. I'm especially thankful for John's work on the design concept, because without his input and the input of Judge Limbaugh Sr., to carry our cause, we would have had a courthouse in Cape Girardeau, believe it or not, without air conditioning. And we also would have had a courthouse in Cape Girardeau with this wavy roof that was supposed to look like a babbling brook. And if you don't believe me, please do. But we were really lucky, and we were able to be very successful in, as Brad alluded, reassigning the architect and getting our own, who would build this building to work with our magnificent city here in Cape Girardeau. I just have to say thank goodness for a little old good Missouri common sense. Also need to give a huge and special thank you to my pal Kit Bond, our senator, who not only named our tremendous bridge after my late husband, but who also worked so hard with me every step of the way to have this building named after Rush Hudson Limbaugh Sr. You know, Mr. Limbaugh Sr. would not have wanted his name on this building, but he very much would have wanted this building to stand in Cape Girardeau. One reason this federal courthouse is here is because of his steadfast belief in the rule of law. Rush believed that the law should live among the people, that the law is not reserved for big cities and big city lawyers, that justice should be no different in rural America than it is in urban America. and that if the federal system resides solely within the realm of large American cities, it ceases to be responsive to all of the people. Our founders wanted the Congress to represent our states and the people. They envisioned presidents as successful leaders from all walks of life. And in our federal courts, our founders wanted the best and the brightest Americans to be caretakers of our judiciary, to interpret our laws and to protect the meaning of our Constitution. Lawyers and judges, plaintiffs and defendants, legal researchers and bailiffs, law enforcement officials, and court reporters, each of them fulfills a role in the measurement of what is and what is not allowed under our Constitution. Their responsibilities are serious ones, and the preservation of justice for all depends on the discharge of their duties. I think our founders would very much have liked Rush Hudson Limbaugh Sr. In every case, large and small, there was something interesting to Rush. Each of his clients was different, and each of their needs was different. I think Rush understood that a good lawyer fits his arguments to the facts, just like a good tailor fits a suit to the man. He was careful, thoughtful, and truthful. He set a good example for the work that will go on in this building every day. There will be challenges here, ardent arguments and impassioned pleas. They'll be made before federal judges who will hear the cases. Some will be arguments Rush would have made and some not. I want to again thank the city of Cape Girardeau and to the Limbaugh family. And I also want to thank, once again, all of the citizens of our great region and our country for participating in and helping make this courthouse a reality. May God bless each of you, and may He continue to watch over our United States of America. Thanks.
My father would say if he were here, and in this political world, we do use colloquialisms. What's all the fuss about? Before making a few remarks, can I reiterate what all of the other speakers have mentioned? First of all, thank you all for being here. Everyone here certainly honors Dad so much simply by your very presence. I appreciate so much all of my wonderful, good judge friends and loyal people who are here and magistrates. There are so many state judges and friends who are here. Judge Phil Gilbert from Carbondale is here. My good friend George Flanagan from Carthage and Pat were signed up to be here. A number of Missouri bar presidents in the past are here. There are a number of old lawyer friends from St. Louis and other areas in the country who are here, and we do appreciate so much your presence. This building, as you have heard, could not be here without congressional approval and foresight. As you have heard, we have three people to thank for that. Kit Bond, who you just heard, and Congresswoman Joanne Emerson. And then the third one was Bill Emerson, now deceased, who was congressman several years ago. And those three people, recognizing the need for better court facilities in the Southeast community, were able to persuade Congress to appropriate the necessary funds to build this building, and we owe them a real debt of gratitude. As has been suggested by Judge Perry, and I remember Judge Weber has also mentioned it, when they've been down here within the last several weeks, trying cases. All 3 of the courtrooms have been occupied. And that doesn't even include the possibility of a bankruptcy judge who needed to come down as well, unfortunately, because of that type of caseload also. This may seem a large building and perhaps a little more than adequate, but it is ready now to service the needs of this Southeast Missouri territory, unfortunately, which is a litigious area. The lawyers are happy for that. These programs are always too long, but may I ask your indulgence for just a few moments for a little bit of nostalgia. As was said, Dad grew up, was born in 1891 on a farm in Bullinger County, about 25 miles west of here. There were 7 members of the family, 4 boys and 3 girls. 2 of the girls died of consumption, what it was called then, tuberculosis. The 4 boys and their sister remained. Their father died at age 47. Dad was the youngest. He was only 7 years of age at that time. We talk about the hardships and difficulties economically that we have today. In 1891 and in the latter part of that century, in the early 10 years of the next century, times on the farm in the country were difficult. There was no electricity, no plumbing. There was really no refrigeration except what they might improvise on their own. The water came from on high into cisterns. The farm implements were simply muscle and a team of mules and rather unusual, antiquated farm machinery. The ladies did all of the housework. They milked the cows. They rendered lard. They made all of the clothes. The men did the farming and all of the extremely hard work with the help of the ladies. And they all managed to survive and make something of themselves. Life was frugal and Spartan and difficult in those days. We can't imagine growing up in this kind of area. And we have some of the members of Dad's family, his 3 brothers, Arthur and Burette and Roscoe and his sister Lily, who are here today to help celebrate this building. And Dad always said, were it not for his brothers and his sister, he would have never had the opportunity for an education. One of the great virtues that Dad possessed, some of which was just natural and some of which was acquired, was his memory. At 12, he recited the Gettysburg Address and the Second Inaugural. I remember when I first started practicing law in the 50s with Dad, one day he said, "What day is this?" And I said, "It's March, the 7th of March." "Of course." And with that, he began the recitation of the opening Daniel Webster 7th of March speech before the Senate, which was credited with postponing the Civil War for 10 years. And you remember Webster approached his colleagues in the Senate and he said something that is always plagiarized today by so many of us. "I come to you, my colleagues, not as a Bostonian, not as a Massachusetts man. I do not come to you as a New Englander, but I come to you as an American. Next to my mother, as has been suggested, Dad's great passion was the law. He lived it, he breathed it, he loved it, and it was his virtual life. He believed, as we all have suggested to ourselves, that the great thing that separates this constitutional government from other governments in the country is the rule of law and its enforcement. And that was Dad's passion. Hopefully, that grand passion of the rule of law can permeate the walls and the interior of this great building as long as it stands, and hopefully that passion can serve as an inspiration to all who pass through its portals. Thank you all so much honoring us today. Thank you.
Offering the keynote address today is the first resident district judge in Cape Girardeau, Stephen Limbaugh, Jr. Judge Limbaugh was nominated for appointment by President George W. Bush last December and was confirmed by the Senate on June 10th. Prior to his appointment as district judge, Judge Limbaugh, Jr. served on the Supreme Court of Missouri for 16 years and 2 years as Chief Justice. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the grandson of Rush H. Limbaugh, Sr., Judge Stephen Limbaugh, Jr.
Good morning. Thank you all for sharing this special day with my family and me. I have so many friends and family here. It's just a wonderful crowd. But I want to offer a special welcome to my dear colleagues on the bench, past and present, to Chief Justice Stith and Judges Russell and Titleman and Breckenridge. I thank you for all the years of your collegiality and your friendship. And I also wish to recognize the longtime clerk of the Supreme Court, Tom Simon, and his wife, Di, and also my wonderful administrative assistant for the past 16 years, Diana Letterman. Diana, where are you? She's here someplace. Yeah, okay. Thank you. And to my new colleagues on the federal bench, I'm so very grateful for your many kindnesses and helpfulness as I begin my new career, and I look forward to many years of the same kind of rewarding relationships that I've enjoyed with my former colleagues. To my good friend, Senator Claire McCaskill, who could not be here today, but who supported Senator Bond and Representative Emerson on this courthouse project, and who also helped secure my recent confirmation by the Senate, I'm very grateful as well. And to Senator Kit and Congresswoman Joanne, I could spend the next several days singing your praises for all the remarkable good works you have done for our community and for our courts and for our state and nation. And I know I speak for the entire family in saying that we are humbled and honored beyond measure by the way that you have preserved the memory of our grandfather. Suffice it to say that you have our deep, abiding, and heartfelt thanks. Mr. Scott mentioned that I am the first resident United States District Judge in Cape Girardeau. In fact, I have the extraordinary good fortune and the singular and unprecedented honor not only of being the first resident United States District Judge in Cape Girardeau, but also of being the first resident United States District Judge in a United States courthouse named after his grandfather. I pledge to you this day that as I take on my duties as the resident United States District Judge in Cape Girardeau, I will strive to abide by the splendid examples of my grandfather and my father. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Oftentimes you wonder if you will find a person befitting the stature of a building, but I'm afraid we shortchanged your grandfather, because there's no building that is adequate to befit his stature. We have a
Each month, we will take this journey where there are many places to go. There are many interesting people to meet, and so many new things to see. Join us again on River Tales.